From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for December 17th, 2015. In today's video, I'm going to do a walkthrough of each of the U.S. currency pairs and outline some of the opportunities that have arisen since yesterday's interest rate news from the Fed, which of course was the first raise of interest rates in several years. Starting here on the U.S. franc, if you take note here down at the very bottom of the screen, I jumped in the U.S. franc at 98.43, posted that about 1 hour after the news. We had the news at 2 p.m. Eastern time yesterday, about 3 p.m. Eastern time yesterday. I went ahead and jumped into the market, felt comfortable going ahead and jumping in after the market had had an hour or so to absorb that information. Went ahead and jumped into this as a long U.S. dollar at 98.43 as we saw a little bit of a pullback after the initial jump from the news. So we saw it pull back. 98.43 is the entry, sitting right now about 120 pips of profit on the trade. I've already closed some of the profit, but a very profitable trade nonetheless. We've actually had a little bit more than that as the market spiked up earlier today, but I still think there's possibility of seeing this go higher. I've locked in, of course, some profit here. Can't lose on the trade. Looking at the chart, we have the previous uptrend, low to high where the green trend line is. 618 fib sat at 9,800. Also at 9,800, we had the 100 period moving average. Also, the green shaded area here, recognizing historical support and resistance. So we knew over the past several days we've been studying this in the trade room above 9,800 was the support. We begin to zoom it in a little bit so we can get a real good handle on this. So the market spiked up, came back down. We bought it into the just at the top of the green shaded area, and now sitting at profit as it pushes now into the mid to upper 9,900. So a decent amount of profit on the trade. Again, I've already brought my stop loss in to lock in profit. Stop loss just underneath the 9,900 level right now. So locked in a decent amount of profit. I've closed some profit when it hit the purple zone from the green zone. When we bought it down here, it hit the purple shaded area. I went ahead and closed some profit. Of course, today we'll target the 1.0 level, the parity level, the pink zone that's just above the current market. That's the target right now. So if you did not buy the green zone that I posted on the notifications yesterday, if you didn't buy it down here, then your next opportunity will be a pullback to the purple zone. So we're going to buy the US dollar on any pullbacks from yesterday's momentum. 4-hour time frame. Again, what that means here on the US franc is that we're going to buy it on pullbacks likely today towards the purple shaded area. Any dip back down here towards the 9,900 level, 9,920, becomes a buying opportunity now, again, to target back towards the parity level. So for the day today, just to summarize that, we saw the bounce on the green zone as expected. Yesterday's news push above the purple shaded area, which was resistance yesterday, now going to act as support, 9920 to 9900, targeting 1.0 at least at this current moment, if not higher. If it can break 1.0, I think this previous area right here becomes somewhat of a vacuum to draw it much higher here for the U.S. franc today. Let's move on to the euro dollar. Similar situation, just the opposite, kind of upside down from the previous currency pair. Previous downtrend, 50% sat here at the blue zone. 100 period exponential moving average sat there in the blue zone. We saw resistance into the 1.1 level over the past 5 or 6 days. Yesterday's news caused a spike into that level, and now we see it coming down. If you happen to sell the blue zone on the euro rather than buying the zone on the franc, then of course you're still into profit. Same situation here. We're going to sell the euro dollar on pullbacks. In this case, that means pullbacks into the resistance zone. At this point, that's your yellow shaded area. 1.0895 to 0.925 is that yellow zone. That is your resistance area here for the euro dollar today. You're going to buy it on pullbacks to the yellow zone and look to target at least, first off, the green shaded area, which we've already been very close to it or touched it already today. But we're going to look to target much lower, actually looking possibly down here towards this blue shaded area into the mid to low 700s. That becomes the next target. So in this case, with the momentum from yesterday's news, we're selling resistance or a breakout underneath support. If it doesn't pull back to the yellow zone, we could look to sell it on a breakout underneath the 1.0800 level and the green shaded area. So that's what we're looking for. Sells the yellow zone or a breakout underneath the green shaded area today on the euro dollar. GBP USD, Great British Pound US Dollar, similar situation as the Euro. We've seen a rise. We sold it earlier this week into the red circle towards the red trend line. If you're still holding those sells, tremendous amount of profit as it continues to pressure back down with that interest rate news. 4-hour time frame just to get us into this. It sell on any pullbacks. At this point, the green shaded area here is your resistance. That's quite a long ways up at the current moment. So I don't know if we'll see it back up there towards the 5,000 level. Currently, we're challenging down here towards the 4,900 level. So it's going to have to pull back 60, 70 pips before we would even consider a new selling opportunity here for the pound dollar. Otherwise, a breakdown of support. Obviously, your last support here is just above the 4,900 level. You can see that support there. So the next thing you're looking for here on the GBP USD would be the breakdown of 4,900, a push underneath there. We look for the continuation, likely down towards the low 1.48s. That's the purple shaded area, the bottom of our trend channel. Sits down there towards 48.30 to 48.10 down there at the bottom of the chart. So for the pound dollar, selling rallies to resistance quite a long ways up. I don't know if we're going to have that opportunity today, but a breakdown of support, 4,900, becomes your opportunity to go short here on the pound dollar. Next, moving over to the U.S. CAD, we actually didn't see quite a bit of reaction here on the interest rate news, but it is still moving in the direction as expected, which is the long-term uptrend. Take it down to the 4-hour chart. We've been studying the 3 periods here where it went into congestion, breakout, congestion, breakout, congestion, breakout, and now even with yesterday's volatility, we see it continuing to pressure towards the 1.38 20s and 40s. That's our current resistance level. You can see the resistance here at the green zone. So for this pair, again, it either needs to come back down to the pink zone, which of course would be your current support level, back into the 3740s, 37 teens, even towards 3700. That's the pink shaded area. A pullback down there becomes an opportunity. You don't want to really go long into this resistance level. So if you're going to go long, you need it to come down or at least break above this green shaded area for the continuation of the uptrend. So not really an opportunity today to go long. Wait for a pullback before that becomes an opportunity. US yen, another pair that we're watching for an opportunity. We saw the pullback all the way down last week, all the way down here towards the mid to low 120s. Significant rise over the past couple of days, even with yesterday's news, taking a rise from the 121.50s, now back into the 122.50s. We're running into resistance at the current moment. So again, just like all the other US pairs, we need either one of two things. We either need a pullback to support, which at this point could be a significant pullback all the way down here to 121.50s, or it needs to break above resistance. The blue shaded area, take a look back here on the left-hand side. Look at the supports here. A significant breakout above that blue zone, which is 122.50 or so. We'll look for the continuation of the upside. And we'll look at the target 123 to 123.20. That's the green shaded area here on the chart. So a breakout above the blue zone continues the upside. Dips into the pink zone, continues the upside. I'd be cautious about going long until it either reaches all the way down here, because if it gets back under the blue zone, we might see a little bit of a pullback from yesterday's move. So breakout is your buying opportunity. Dips are your buying opportunity, but that's the direction I would focus in on for the US yen today. Australian dollar, moving on over here. This one, not quite as large of a reaction as you might have expected, but still I think the main focus is selling this currency pair within the short-term downtrend that we've seen with the blue trend line. We've looked at this over the past few days here on the chart. In fact, I'm going to change this trend line to a different color for a moment. Let's change it to this green color right here. Let's get it a brighter green here. Let's go with that one. Trying to get that brighter green. We'll just go with this one right there. All right, so we have the green trend line representing our current downward push. The blue trend line over here, this is what I want you to see over here. See the blue trend line over here? It was the downfall. Eventually, the break of the orange zone started going down to the blue or the pink shaded area. So that's what we're looking at. A repeat of history. The fall, the breakout, the continuation. The fall, we don't have the breakout yet. So that's what we're looking for here on the Australian dollar. A breakout underneath 71.65, 71.80, a break underneath there, the 100 period simple moving average. We look for it to target back down to the blue shaded area. So at this point, you can't really sell it with confidence because we haven't broken the support. It needs to break underneath that orange zone before we can sell this with confidence. I don't think there's any valid reason to go long right now here on the Australian dollar. Yes, it's at support, but I don't think there's any valid reason to go long. This one, to me, is a selling opportunity. If you happen to sell back into the resistance at the yellow zone or holding sales, that's the next thing you're looking for, the breakout underneath the orange zone for the continuation to 7,100 for the Australian dollar. Next, moving over to the NZD. This is another currency pair I actually sold yesterday shortly after the news. Posted that again on the member notifications. Sold it up here towards the 6,800 level. It came down. We saw 50, 60 pips of profit. Went right back up. Took me out at break even and then went right back down. So we've been studying this as a selling opportunity close to 9,800 for several days now. Shouldn't be a surprise if you've been in the live trade room. There it is right there. Take a look. It went down. There's your spike down. Then the next candle went right back up, touched the 6,800 level, took me out, and then went right back down. Good news today, though, is that we're staying underneath the 6740s and 50s, this pink shaded area. If it can stay underneath here, if you're still in it, look to target the next support level, which is down here towards the 6700 level, the orange shaded area. We need it to stay underneath the pink zone today to go lower. If it gets back above the pink zone, one more time, I'm likely looking for a challenge of the 6800s and the blue shaded area up here for the New Zealand dollar.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.